What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going over 10 things DC wants you to forget about Green Arrow, and let's get straight on the list with number 10, Robin Hood. It's not hard to recognize that Green Arrow and Robin Hood have a few things in common. They both wear green, they both wear a mask, they both shoot arrows, and they're both vigilantes who fight for the common man against oppression. Green Arrow borrows a lot from Robin Hood. So much so, in fact, that early on, it was written into Green Arrow's origin story that when Ollie Queen was a young boy, he was enamored with Robin Hood, and that's why they have so many similarities. Number 9, Green Archer. If Robin Hood wasn't enough, all throughout the 20s, 30s, and 40s, Columbia Pictures released a very popular series of silent films, radio shows, and movies based on the 1923 Edgar Wallace novel, The Green Archer. You guessed it, he was a vigilante dressed in green who shot arrows. Number 8, Batman. Here's another one. Green Arrow is a superhero, but his secret identity is that of Oliver Queen, a billionaire orphan living off the wealth his family amassed before he was born. He uses an arrow symbol in the sky to be summoned. He has an arrow cave, an arrow mobile, and a young trusty sidekick. Sound familiar? Yeah, we like Batman too. Around the time Green Arrow was created, Batman had just begun to taste success. There were a lot of really good things to like about Batman. DC felt like Batman was working, but they weren't sure how long that success would last. They pushed a similar backstory on Green Arrow as kind of an insurance policy in case the public grew tired of a man dressed as a bat. Number 7, Iron Man. Let's delve further into that billionaire playboy lifestyle. Batman uses the billionaire playboy lifestyle as a ruse to keep anyone off of his scent. It's not really part of his true personality. Green Arrow's alter ego, Oliver Queen, most resembles another popular hero who isn't even part of the DC universe. You may recognize this hard drinking, hard partying, womanizing kind of a man who has a fantastic mind for tech and gadgets. Genius, billionaire, playboy. Where have we seen this before? Of course, Iron Man, Tony Stark. But who borrowed from who here? It's worth noting that Green Arrow was an eccentric billionaire in the 40s and 50s, while Tony Stark wasn't created until 1963. However, it wasn't until Tony Stark made drinking and girls popular that Oliver Queen showed interest in that playboy lifestyle. So let's get that straight. It was also around the time that Tony Stark arrived with his signature goatee that Ollie Queen started rocking his sweet Van Dyke beard. Number 6, the late 60s and early 70s. Around the mid to late 60s, Green Arrow's popularity hit a wall and ultimately a rapid decline. Their character was no longer able to sustain a solo title. DC did what any logical company would do, and rather than scrapping the character completely, they just teamed him up with another green character, Green Lantern. How could that not work? They are both green. In turn, comic companies threw their hat into the ring. DC used Green Lantern / Green Arrow team up to take these issues head on. Racism, corruption, pollution, addiction, overpopulation, the Manson family, you name it, they were on top of it. In 1972, the project was cancelled and both Green Arrow and Green Lantern were left in limbo for several years trying to grab spot feature work in other DC titles. Number 5, Mike Grell. With the spotlight faded, DC gave the reins for the revival of the Green Arrow and Green Lantern team-up to Dennis O'Neil and Mike Grell in 1976. In 1987, Mike Grell grabbed Green Arrow with a fresh approach. At first, DC was on board with the idea. After all, the character was teetering and a new idea might be the shot in the arm Green Arrow needed. The series was an adult-themed realism approach called Green Arrow: The Longbow Hunters. Historically, this series will go down as one of the most badass things that ever happened in comics. This dark, gritty, violence yet realistic approach to Green Arrow may have been just what the character needed, but it certainly was not what DC was looking for. They asked Grell to tone it down a bit, but he would have none of it. Instead, he took the character down even darker paths of murder, drugs, crime, and rape. DC tried their best to politely take the title back from Grell, but this caused a rift between the beloved writer and the company. Grell was very vocal and outspoken about the tension in his relationship with DC, while the company tried to remain diplomatic for their fans' sake. In the years following the Longbow Hunters, DC spent many issues trying to reinstate the wholesome image to Green Arrow. Number 4, Green Arrow was raped. In the Longbow Hunters, Oliver Queen faces a crew of drug dealers who kidnapped his girl, Black Canary. During his hunt for justice, he encounters a young ninja girl called Shadow. He secretly helps her on a revenge mission, so she returns the favor and helps him spring Black Canary. About a year later, In Hawaii, Greg Osborne blackmails Green Arrow into tracking Shadow down, and when he finds her, she mistakenly shoots him down in the chest with an arrow. Realizing her mistake, Shadow helps nurse him back to health. Well, she did a little more than that. She took it upon herself to trick him into thinking she is Black Canary while he was delirious, effectively raping and impregnating herself with Green Arrow's seed to birth their son, Robert Queen. Now that is sick and sadistic, guys. Number 3, Green Arrow was killed. While on a mission to save Metropolis from a terror plot involving a bomb that would destroy all the plastic in the city, forcing it to cave in on itself, Oliver Queen thrusts his arm into the bomb's detonation chamber to stop it from exploding. With no other way to stop the bomb from going off, Superman and Green Arrow come up with a genius plan to have Superman tear Ollie's arm apart. Genius! Let it be known, this was also Mullet Superman, so he wasn't great at making choices. Now, you and I both know that many superheroes have come back from worse than losing a limb. I mean, just look at Cyborg. At any rate, Oliver Queen has it set in his mind that he can't live with only one arm and allows himself to be blown up when the plane crashes. Number 2, Green Arrow's sidekick was a heroin addict. In an August 1971 issue of a Green Lantern and Green Arrow combo called Snowbirds Don't Fly, it is revealed that Green Arrow's young ward, Roy Harper, is addicted to heroin. How Oliver Queen finds out paints a familiar picture to anyone who has to deal with a loved one battling addiction. While Green Arrow is fighting off some drug dealers, he finds that they're shooting at him with his own arrows. This seems odd to him, so he begins tracking their movements. When he finds their secret hideout, he sees that his sidekick is there. At first, he believes that Roy Harper is there undercover to take down the criminals. To his surprise, the real reason he is there is to trade Oliver's arrows for heroin. He still can't comprehend what's going on and nothing makes sense until he catches Harper in the act of attempting to shoot heroin. Queen is enraged and forces him to quit cold turkey and withdraw from drugs. Harper still struggles with it until one of the junkies he ran with dies of an overdose, which served as a wake-up call. And number 1, nothing about Green Arrow is original at all. When Green Arrow was created for an issue of More Fun Comics in November 1941, they must have been really busy with other things and didn't have much time to dedicate to creating a new character. Nothing about Green Arrow is original. I'm sure they had their reasons, and hey, Green Arrow has been going strong for over 75 years now, so the character traits they borrowed obviously worked out in the long run. If something isn't broken, why try to fix it? When Green Arrow was created, there were only a few paths to follow, but Batman was the best option. We'll take everything but the bat part and slap a green suit on him. That's probably what they had in their mind. This was also in a time where comics were booming in popularity. Writers did whatever they could to push a new product. Many comics tried and failed. Green Arrow, fortunately, pushed through and pushed on. Now, he's starting to achieve very high levels of success in mainstream media and pop culture. Ultimately, the formula worked. And that is it for the video. As always, we hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Valplana, and I'll see you all later.